Hi, Dawn Stensland-Menti. To all you single ladies out there, does this sound like something you would say? All men are dogs and they just want sex. Well, if you can't seem to meet anybody with the total package, and I mean a guy who wants to commit and treat you like a goddess, then listen up, because my first guest is a dating coach. You're gonna love him with tips on how to turn your love life around. He's the author of If All Men Are Dogs, Then Women, You Hold the Leash, and the ebook Date Responsibly. Dating coach Kevin Carr says if you're not meeting Mr. Right, it's because you're not really taking control of your love life and you're allowing men to mistreat you. So it's all on you. So Kevin, welcome to the Dawn Show.
Thanks for having me.
So do all men just want sex?
How do I say this? Absolutely. If he is approaching you, he isn't approaching you because you're smart. He doesn't know you're smart yet. He's sexually attracted to you. And so the goal is to figure out, okay, through the interaction, well, what exactly is his motives? Is that all he wants? Because it might not be all he wants, but yes, he wants sex at some point.
So is it good or bad to sleep with a guy right away?
You know, I think that all depends on what it is that you're looking for. If you're looking for a substance, if you're looking for substance and you want a long-term relationship, you know, I think that's not the way to go. I think it's very important to be intentional every step of the way when dating.
Okay. So, I mean, I know that you get letters sometimes. You actually got a letter this one time from a girl who said, I'm still a virgin and I'm being pressured. I mean, you're actually giving important advice to people who are emailing you and contacting you.
Absolutely.
What did you say to her?
Well, first of all, I was on vacation and I was having, you know, a little bit too much fun, and I immediately had to say, okay, let's be serious. And I told her, listen, you have to determine what's important to you. If your virginity and your body, and it's important to you to hold out until you get married or until you just feel that the time is right, it's important that you make decisions based on that and not based on what he may be pressuring you to do.
Yeah, so I love that you're giving, you're 31 years old and you're giving this fatherly, conservative advice a little bit. So Kevin, do you feel that women should approach dating like applying for a job?
Absolutely. I think that dating should be intentional, and that when we get out of college, we're looking for jobs, specific jobs in specific arenas. When you're looking for a house, you're looking for a certain kind of house in a certain neighborhood. But when it comes to dating, a lot of people will just say, hey, you have a nice smile, let's just go to dinner. But it's important to be intentional every step of the way, so that determines that you're really getting what you're looking for.
I love the way you say, make it like a job.
Yeah.
So do men want to be controlled? You're saying, ladies, you hold the leash.
Well, when I say that, I mean that from the very moment we meet, you determine how far we go. Now, that doesn't excuse me as a man, or men in general, of being honest and honorable and who they say they are. But you determine interaction. You determine whether we exchange phone numbers. You determine whether we go on the first date. You determine when we have sex, essentially. And so it's really about regaining control of your dating experience.
Okay, so they don't want a collar, but they can tug at the leash.
Yeah, we want some standards. Make us work, please.
So how does, you know, you're a coach here, so how does a woman tell if a guy wants a girlfriend, if he wants a one-night stand, if he wants a wife? How do you tell?
I think a lot of times it's in an interaction. If you guys are just meeting you 2 or 3 weeks in and you're calling and there are a lot of sexual innuendos, I have a theory that if you listen to somebody closely and let them speak, they'll tell you what they're all about. So it's really about paying attention to those signs from the very beginning. And also, it's okay to ask questions. You know, what are you looking for? Penetrating questions, not those open-ended so he can give you a story that you really don't know what he talked about. No. Penetrating questions, yes, no, this is what I'm looking for.
Okay, so if it's a woman's job, right, so what are the best ways to find an eligible man? I mean, our mothers always say the synagogue, the church, right? But
yep, the church, the supermarket, Home Depot. The gym is a great option.
Oh no, Home Depot, they're looking for trust me, they're looking for a one-night thing.
I think it's important to really be social, just be social. You're not going to find them on the couch. And so it's really about being social and engaging in the things that you enjoy, going to the places that you have interest in. And when you're at those places, you're running to people that are like-minded and enjoy those same things. And then from there, you can take it and say, well, is this somebody that I want to interact with on a consistent basis?
Okay, so what do men want? I mean, when men are looking, what's the ideal woman?
But I don't think there's necessarily an ideal woman, but men want somebody that they can be a man with. And to each person, that may be different.
To be yourself
to
with,
be
in
yourself
other
with.
words.
To me, I might want to watch football and drink a beer on Sunday. You don't necessarily have to watch football with me, but don't talk to me while the game's on. And so it's important. They want to be comfortable.
Well, that's every guy. Don't talk to him.
Yeah.
Definitely don't talk to him when he's watching the game.
Not while the game's on.
So you're 31 years old.
am.
I mean, are the 30-somethings into older women?
Yes, they are.
And I don't mean like just Halle Berry and Demi Moore. I mean,
Yeah, no,
just,
no. I know plenty of guys, 25, 30, that are into older women. The one thing that I will say is that I think that it's very important for older women when they're dating younger men to get a gauge on what it is they're really looking for. Because sometimes younger guys date older women out of an infatuation, and so you don't want to get caught up.
It's not real.
It's somebody that isn't real.
It's a fantasy. So you're in a serious relationship
I am.
now.
Yeah.
So what is this like for you as you give people advice?
Yeah, well, I have to live what I'm saying.
Got to walk the walk.
Yes,
right?
and talk the talk, and also it's an adjustment for me as well, and I'm living it out just like everybody else, and I've been able to articulate my experiences, research into mediums where it's just books and articles and just things like this.
Well, Kevin Carr, you're just a breath of fresh air, and I love that you're giving real advice and you have morality and ethics, and that's such an important voice now in this day and age.
Well, I appreciate it.
All right, Kevin, take care.
All right, thanks for having me.
So next up, you're looking for a job. 5 best apps for job hunters. This is going to be good.